this is a message for someone who's struggling to find meaning in their life right now, and they feel a sense of meaninglessness to everything. So everything you're doing, you lack passion about. I guess that's what we could say. You feel yourself like impassioned about life. You're finding yourself in a negative mindset recently. It could be that you're really focusing on what's going on politically in your country, or what's being brought to your attention in your socials. Like there's something about what you're paying attention to that's giving you a daily reaffirmation of a concept of reality that is utterly depressing to you. Okay? And of course, these things could all be true, the things you're ruminating over. And, the message that's coming through is you need to realize that while those things you're focusing on are true, there are infinite other things that are true as well that would serve you better to focus on. So I don't know what you're focusing on. Only you know that, right? But I'm getting that if this message is for you, every time you go on your socials, you see things, you see people talking about things, or you see people doing things that constantly reinforce three is what I'm getting, three core concepts that you have figured. It's like you haven't done this on purpose, okay? If this message is for you, you haven't done this on purpose, but you have inadvertently made these three core concepts, notions, kind of like the axis of your life. It's like what makes your world turn, right? The measures you put on reality to check how you feel about things, what matters to you, basically. It's like the three core things that you look at everything through. So it's almost like three core lenses. Imagine if instead of two eyes, we had three. Wait, we do. So you have a lens over each eye that's shaping your perception of reality. And I talk about this all the time, right? That what we see as reality, if you look into the science behind it, is less than 1% of what is there. What we perceive is just the top layer of reality, scientifically speaking, right? And this is a very deep topic that you should do your own research on, but I'm not making this up. This is literally true. So your eyes, your senses at any time are not even perceiving a full 1% of reality. So what you are focused on is completely, up to you, and it's a very small part of what's going on. But it shapes the way you experience life and the world, right? What you focus on. So the way you're looking at reality right now, your three major core lenses that have been shaped by some kind of outside influence is what I'm getting. It could be cultural. It could be, it's like an identity thing, okay? So I'm almost getting like, you could say, like you could be like, oh, I'm a right-wing or left-wing person. That could be one of your lenses. You could say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm an atheist. That could be another one of your lenses. You could say, there's more problematic lenses, of course, but let's just not get into them. You know what you're dealing with. I don't need to talk about it. What the message that's coming through is the way you're looking at the world is the reason you're so that you don't feel anything, okay? I was gonna say numb, but it's not exactly numb. You feel things, they're all unpleasant. So over time, you're in this sort of chronic sense of apathy is what I'm getting, is that you feel apathy and you don't feel excited about anything, and you have trouble seeing the point in things. So whatever this worldview is that you have, these three main things, that are getting to you on a daily basis. It's almost like you're being attacked. That's what I'm getting, okay? And I'm going to say something personal aside from the message, which, I talk a lot about being worried about getting into personals, but the other day God said to me that actually that's one of the reasons God likes me doing this message is so I get personal, because apparently that's what people like, and that's how they engage, and that's how they won't, feel like what's the mightier than thou, right? If I share, my own struggles, blah blah. So I will do that, okay? I mean, it's probably good for me too, because I'm not much of a share in my personal life. So this is probably healthy for me, because I don't see me going out and making friends to share my things with. So I guess you whoever you are will be my imaginary friends. So what I was going to say is, living in the United States, I have experienced feeling bombarded by marketing in a way that felt almost like psychological warfare. So if you've lived your whole life in the United States, you might think that's normal, and you might be very used to it. And you might not notice how extremely aggressive and detrimental it is to your mental health, the way in which you're so systematically attacked. And I used to work in marketing, so I know what they're doing. And even still, it's like, I often say witchcraft is not good or bad. The witch is good or bad, right? Marketing is not good or bad. The person doing the marketing is good or bad. The intent behind it can be, evil or not. It can be good, right? So the problem in the United States is that there's a darkness behind the marketing and the way they target people many times, okay? So even I, someone who barely watches any TV, I only really get exposed to ads when I'm watching sports, when I watch basketball or football, which I like a lot, or, the Olympics. They're targeting me all with this Ozempic ads, with, Botox, and what is the other one? Fertility, okay? Why? I'm guessing, it's just my profile. I used to also work in market research, so I know why. It's my profile, right? They have studied everyone, me too, so they know what a woman of my profile would probably be triggered by, what would be easy to sell to her, torment to her. I mean, we all know this, right? But are we aware of how truly psychologically damaging it is to constantly expose yourself to it? I don't know. I will tell you, even just listening to a few accidentally, right, while I'm watching football or whatever, I will then for days feel taunted by the Ozempic. Even though I know my stance on Ozempic, I will feel taunted by the thoughts of Botox, even though I know my stance on Botox, not a change. So I can only imagine, if you're not a person as defined as me, as sure of themselves and their opinions as me, as and you also don't have an identity so removed from the American style of thinking of, giving into the marketing. Okay, in Spain, people are very anti-consumerist, okay? So even if you're well off, your concept of consumerism is very, very, very different than American people that are not even doing well financially. So like, it's a stark contrast for someone like me experiencing it. But when I think of whoever this message is for, and I'm talking about these lenses that are over your eyes, your main eyes and your third eye, they are clouding your vision. And what I'm also getting is they're actually taunting you. And to be under constant psychological warfare, eventually you become what you are, which is apathetic and numb, and you lose sense of your true north, of what you want, of what is exciting, what makes you passionate about life, and especially what's the point in things. So number one thing you need to do, if this message is for you, is you need to find a way to get rid of ads. Maybe you should, if you're watching YouTube all the time, pay the premium to not get ads. Make sure to mute the ads. Make a deliberate effort to get away from ads and to identify what are these 3 areas where you're being bombarded by marketing that's clouding your vision of life and the world. So hopefully that was helpful.